All right, so as you would say, shut up and do it. Let's get into it.
Shut up and do it.
We are here, Mindset Matters, episode 1. Danny Smith. A pleasure to be here at Smith Media HQ. Fantastic facility, isn't it?
It's cool in here, isn't it?
There's some inspiring stuff you can't see on camera, but there's some gorgeous pictures here, and there's some framed photographs. It's a lovely venue. So
it's nice.
Is it quite inspiring working here? Would you say?
Yeah, you know what? It's with all the colours and stuff, and the brightness of the room. It's a real good creative space. So when you're thinking of content and designing strategies and stuff like that, it's really good for to be creative and be in that creative mindset.
So you've not got like just an empty box and it's like
no,
from nothing.
not sat in your room. Not sat in your room just with your boxes on, with your cup of tea.
It's a bit more professional.
Yeah, a little bit more professional than that.
Oh, that's good. That's what we want. So thank you for coming on the show. It's a pleasure to have you here. You got a cup of coffee in case you want some. Let's get straight into it. So first question I've got for you is I want to know a bit about your story in business. So you're a social media man, young gun, coming into business. Kind of where have you come from? What's your kind of story?
So I've actually come from a personal training background. So I used to work in a gym.
Nice.
I used to spend a lot of time with. Used to work over in Skipton, so there's quite a few pensioners over there. So I used to spend a lot of time with old people.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What, training them?
Yeah, training them. So just sort of keeping them fit more than anything. So walking them through stuff and sort of just walking up and down stairs and
brilliant.
just talking to them and having a bit of a chinwag about their lives and stuff. Yeah, actually really good.
See, that's unusual because like most people say personal training, you're thinking 6 a.m.
Yeah, no.
Really intense class, but it's actually providing quality of life.
Yeah, well, obviously there was that as well, but the wide majority of stuff, it was
brilliant.
People just wanting to stay fit and stay healthy, and that's something that for me personally I really wanted to promote.
Yeah.
Was the health factor, physically and
Absolutely.
mentally and emotionally.
Absolutely.
And just keeping fit and just keeping going.
Yeah.
I did that for 2 or 3 years. I just worked my way up and I ended up in management of a gym.
Nice.
And the gym that I was working at, they wanted to get more sales in. So me being in my 20s, I thought, well, first place to look is social media. So I jumped straight on Facebook, set up a Facebook account, set up the Facebook page, the Twitter, the Instagram, blah blah blah, and just started posting stuff out. It wasn't even necessarily great content. Just smashed it out.
Just doing it.
Just do it.
Out there.
Just do it. Because the content was there. Because there was stuff going on all the time. Different people coming in and out. Yeah. So there was stuff going on all the time. Stuff. So from a content point of view, it was quite straightforward, and then I knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So we'd sometimes send out articles and stuff about how to run 5K in 5 weeks, and stuff like that.
Stuff appropriate to your audience.
Yeah, exactly. So started on social media.
Brilliant. So right from the start, it's all about the action. It's literally, it's like, right, let's just do what I'm good at and let's just
That's
do something.
That's it.
Something.
Yeah. Well, people my age have grown up with it, so it was like, well, I already know what engages me.
Yeah.
So why don't I just do what engages me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? So
absolutely.
What I started doing was, like I said, just banging out content, and then with the occasional boosted ad and stuff like that. Got a promo video in, some professional photographers. I just made it look a really, really good gym. It was only a small place, but by the end of the year, we'd end up not doubling, not tripling, but quadrupling sales. Now, obviously, that's not all just down to me because there was a whole team.
But that's the result. You can't lie with the numbers.
But it was a bit of a coincidence that as the social media really kicked off, the sales started.
And that's a big increase, isn't it? Quadruple. It's not like just 20%.
Huge as well, and all in contracts as well, all in 12-month contracts.
Wow.
So for the next 12 months, they'll actually still be in a contract now at that gym, even though I've left.
They're still benefiting from you.
Yeah. So,
legacy sorted.
Yeah, boom.
Thank you very
Smashed
much.
It. Yeah.
Move on.
I still talk to my old boss now. Actually,
you're still welcome.
Yeah. I still talk to him every now and then.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So background. Yeah, and I just fell in love with it, and I was just like, well, I've obviously got a knack for it. I've always been a creative person. I'm always coming up with wacky stuff and ideas. So I started off just doing that, and there wasn't really much strategy So that's something from my personal development, what I then went into. So I really started thinking about, right, okay, what is the idea of success?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, right, okay, so the idea of success would be to have more guys on the website, more guys coming into the gym, and that's something that I apply throughout our clients now. So something that I ask is, what is your idea of success? Which I think I've asked you before.
Yeah.
So
what, didn't we?
What's your idea of success? So
all
right, do you want more website traffic? All right, okay. So that push that then.
Yeah.
Push that.
So it's like start with the outcome. So really, two things I can hear you saying in terms of like what a person thinks when they put out their content is thinking in the shoes of the person who's looking at it.
Exactly.
So it's saying like, would I find this engaging? Would I enjoy this?
100%. Yeah. Before you press that post button, think, would I share this post or would I like this post?
Yeah.
If the answer's no, you need to delete the whole thing and start again.
Absolutely.
You do.
Absolutely.
And you do because if it's not right, it's not right.
Yeah. Definitely. So there's an integrity to it, isn't it?
100%.
You not just feel like I'm just ticking boxes and doing this. It's like, look, I'm doing this properly.
It's not a tick box. No, it's not a tick box exercise at all.
Yeah.
No.
Because people pick up on that, don't they? They're quite savvy.
Too right, especially people my age.
Yeah, because you've grown up with it.
Grown up with it.
Yeah.
And if you aren't authentic and you aren't genuine about what you're doing, and it's obvious you just want people to go to your website because you want to sell them something, it's just going to switch off and they're not going to be bothered.
Definitely. So the first thing we're thinking about is we're saying, okay, it's thinking of what they be thinking, and it's also thinking about the outcome. So like you say, if you have a certain outcome for a client, so if you're working with a client, you need to work towards that outcome, not kind of just put something out there and hope something happens.
Too right. Yeah, so there needs to be a method in the madness. So you need, like I say, you need to have this idea of success, and you need to think about what's valuable to you as the marketer, but think about what's valuable to the people that you're marketing to, and don't think of them as a market as such. Think of them as a community of people, and talk to them as people. Yeah. Just come from an authentic place. So you really need to get across that what you're doing is valuable and it's important and it can help somebody's life or it can benefit somebody's life in some way.
Yeah, definitely.
It needs to have that value before anything can happen. Because if you're just going to start banging out 3 times a day the same post saying buy now 20% off, people
you're asking for something.
Yeah,
you're saying I'm gonna take something from you. I'm not giving you anything.
Yeah,
you don't even know me, but I'm gonna. It's nice to meet you. Let me take this from you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You don't know me, but go to my website. It's 20% off.
Yeah.
And you just look at it like,
why? Why should I?
Yeah. You're alright, mate.
See, that's really interesting because you make the point about saying like you've grown up on this. So like I'm a bit older than you, and I was talking to a guy in his 20s. He's 24. And he was saying, but I've been building websites for 10 years. And I did the math and I was like, yeah, you're right. If you started at this 14, you will have done this. So when you're talking about this, and I know some people look at younger people especially, and they're like, well, they're only in their 20s or this. But it's like, but for the last 10 years, I've been doing this in a way that you're only just understanding now. So in a way, you're at a massive advantage, not a disadvantage. Would you say that's accurate?
100%. Yeah. I think especially in the digital industry, it is not an advantage, but it's not a disadvantage to be young in this industry. Yeah, it's not.
It's more about your experience and the way you're looking at it.
It's all about can you deliver?
Can you do it? Yeah.
Can you deliver?
Yeah.
If you can deliver, then that's it.
And so that's something that we were saying off camera, weren't we? One of your phrases that was your best friend said, because you've been talking about it. What did he say to you?
Yeah, he just said, shut up, man, just do it.
Shut up and do it.
Yeah, and well, this was when I was working at the gym,
and
I was saying, I've got something here. I'm really good at this social media. I think about setting up on my own and going for it. He just went, oh yeah. I went, you don't believe me? It's like, well, you just talk a lot, don't you? Just shut up. If you're gonna do it, just do it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right then. Yeah. And then I handed in my notice that the next day.
Wow.
And I was just like, right, let's do it.
So when he said that to you, did that resonate? Did it something just kind of go? Did the penny drop? Was it that?
Yeah, it did drop, and then also it was like, when he was like, shut up and do it, I was like, well, why don't I? Because at the end of the day, if if I would have made, well, I did make the jump, but in my head I was like, if I make the jump and it doesn't work, then I'll just find another job.
Yeah.
And I was like, for me, I've got the ability to be like, right, I can try these things. I can try 1,000,001 things, and if they don't work, then they don't work. But at least I've given it a good go.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? That's my mindset behind stuff.
I think that's really important to take a minute to talk about that, because I think it's something that scares a lot of people, because they think like, well, what if I try this and it doesn't work?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, first of all, what if you try and it does?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
secondly, if it doesn't work, you can try something else. So like, I always think a really good example is like, like an ant, really clever, all work together, and they're walking in a line. You stick something in front of an ant, it will stop.
Yeah.
Go back. And a lot of people do that. They'll stop and they'll just go back.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, well, if you actually just go even just that further, you can look at it a different way. Or, yeah, it doesn't work. It didn't work. Don't worry about it. Try something else.
Yeah, man.
That ability to think kind of laterally.
Yeah.
And think outside the box kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's speaking to a lot of kind of younger people, because again, I sound like I'm old, but like people in the 20s, people in the teens, and they're like, yeah, I'll try this because it's valuable to me. But if that doesn't work, I've got the ability to go there and try that. And whereas sometimes I think you can get a bit fixed and say like, well, this is all I know. It's like, well, up until this point, you're 55. That could be young if you're going to be around another 40 years. So
that's true.
Would you say it's that ability to just kind of like, so I'll do it, I'll get into it, I'll give it everything, and if it doesn't work, that's okay. I'll change my perspective and go at it another way.
That's it.
Yeah. Would you say that is something that you kind of keep in mind, or is it something you don't really think about?
It's not something I think about. Thinking from not even a business term, just anything in general. If I fail at it, then
you fail at it.
Then you learn from it, and then you can either go again and use that knowledge that you've acquired, or you can do something else.
Yeah.
So crying about it.
Well, it's kind of that thing, isn't it? It's like you say, there's the event, but it's like, how are you seeing that? It's like I think it's often sometimes the fear of failing is worse than the actual failure.
Too right. Yeah.
You
Exactly.
fail, and it's like,
Exactly.
when you do actually fail, it's like, okay, that's happened. Oh, I better move on and do this.
Yeah.
Whereas the idea of before, what if it does? And it's like, well, what if it does? And when it did, was it that bad? And it's usually
something that I think about a lot is when I'm like in my 60s, or 70s or 80s or however old, and I'm looking back on stuff, and I'm like, all right, what if when I was 20, I had to set up that social media business?
Yeah.
What would have happened? And I hate the idea of that. If anything, that's something that I'm fearful of.
Yeah.
Thinking when it gets to a point in the future and I'm looking back, thinking, I didn't do that. I wish I did.
Yeah.
And that to me is a fear, and in my eyes, that to me would be failure.
Definitely.
In my eyes.
Because it's that regret, because you can't do anything about it. That's the difference. And we met up a couple of weeks ago, and I want to publicly say thank you, because you've helped to inspire this show, and some of the things you said to me, you were like, you got some great ideas, just do it.
Yeah, man.
Change that, do that.
Just do it. Shut up and do it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think one of the things that really hit me, we talk about Gary Vee a lot, we love Gary Vee's stuff, his idea of putting out valuable stuff, but also caring about people. I think a lot of people don't, I didn't get it at first, but you watch enough of his stuff and the message starts coming.
Yeah.
And he said a brilliant thing, which we were talking about, and it was saying, well, the time's going to pass anyway. So say, if we put out, a certain amount of videos, say it's 50 videos in a year, well, in 10 years that's 500 videos. And the 10 years are going to pass anyway. So you can either be 10 years later going, and here's our 500 quality videos that help to these people.
Yeah.
Or 10 years has gone by and I had that idea, but I just didn't quite feel up to it.
Yeah.
It'll be there, won't it? You shut up, you did it, and there's the proof.